Hello everybody, welcome to Rebreak Radio, the show about video games, entertainment, tech, and everything in between. My name is Dennis. Today I'm joined by some of my friends from this school that I introduced to you last week. We got Joachim.
Hello.
We got Carl.
Hello.
So since these are some new people, let me introduce them to you. So Joachim, tell the people about you.
Yeah, I'm friends with Dennis, as he said, and I'm from the south, not from up here, the cold north, and I'm studying as a programmer, and I'm kind of working off-site, so I'm very tired all the time, and I don't play a lot of video games anymore, but I did play the new Call of Duty, which I did enjoy.
Coolio. What's your favorite game?
My favorite game is kind of like two games. One I got kind of addicted to and I had to stop, which was Dota 2. Now it's probably RuneScape, old school RuneScape.
Yeah, cool. My phone is...
You need to mute the mic.
Yeah.
Not mic, phone, whatever.
Yeah. No, we can mute the mic and then just waste an hour of our time. Yep. So, Carl, who are you?
I'm Dennis Mortal Nemesis, because we're both game designers. Okay, I'm a friend of Dennis, and I'm a professional video game player. I'm not professional, but I like playing video games. I also like designing them. I'm also not from the north, I'm from Stockholm. So people make fun of me for that.
Probably the only place that anyone outside of Sweden listening to this that know where it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm from the south.
I'm from Stockholm.
But you're from north of Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm south, more from the south than you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
So, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game is Bloodborne.
That's cool.
That is no surprise to anyone who knows me.
So let's get into what have we been doing recently. So you've been playing the new Call of Duty game. What do you think about it?
I think it's pretty damn good, actually. I would recommend it to probably anyone who has played Call of Duty before and haven't really picked it up recently, or like picked up the recent ones. But yeah, this one is really good.
Kind of back to form.
Yeah, with a lot of nice modern things to it. I don't know any examples, but I don't know, it feels new, but it's also kind of old at the same time. So I think a lot of people who played before will enjoy it, and I also think that new people will also enjoy it, because it's very solid. Some of the maps are kind of, they're not that good, or like they kind of lack some of the like spice that the other ones have. So some maps are kind of lackluster, some are just way too big, it doesn't really work. But I feel like the core of the game is really solid, so that's why I enjoyed it.
So I'm kind of confused. Is it a remake of the original Modern Warfare?
No, it's not.
It's like a reboot.
I guess.
Is it a sequel? Like, because I mean, Captain Price is a character who was in the original, right? And he's in the new one.
I don't know, dude. I just played the multiplayer.
Okay.
Captain Price is in the original one, but I'm with you on that. Is it actually a remake?
I don't think it's a remake. I think it's like, look, cool, old characters are here. It's this time period again, not some future thing, or
might be a retelling.
I don't know. Yeah.
Is it 2019
be.
Or is it like 2008, which the original was set in?
Yeah, it's probably not 2019. Some of the weapons are kind of old at this point, I guess.
Okay.
Well, they're still in use, like in our world.
Yeah.
But they're at time of the game, they're very standard, I think.
Okay.
Pure speculation.
Yeah, we're not pros when it comes to fucking military shit. So.
Unfortunately, not. Talking about Modern Warfare 2 all day, but not the new ones.
I played the original Modern Warfare on Wii.
Why?
Why? That's like...
Because I had a Wii.
Do you hate yourself that much?
No. So, what have you been doing recently, Colin?
I have been... Aside from working, I raid in Final Fantasy XIV, actually. So as opposed to raiding World of Warcraft, raiding in Final Fantasy is actually catching up a lot, because I raided kinda quote-unquote hardcore, but everything on the Mythic level is hardcore, because that's the 1% of the player base doing stuff. So the difficulties in Final Fantasy originally...
Okay. The lights just went out in this room and we don't know how to get them
Yeah.
back on. But
Well, fittingly for what we're going to talk about later, isn't it? Well, raiding in World of Warcraft has always been like the thing they're good at. And there's sort of been this discussion between Final Fantasy XIV and
They
World
just
of
went back
Warcraft.
on again. Okay. This is
Thank
an
you,
interesting
Light.
Situation. All right,
They're soon
keep
gonna
going.
start real soon also. But yeah, the rating has always been like a comparison, like why should I play Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft when World of Warcraft has better rating? However, in my opinion, the rating has been really solid for the most part in the current expansion. I started playing more competitively, so to speak, in the PvE scene during this expansion that's released this year called Shadowbringers. So yeah, that's about all the time I have for games, and I raid about 2 hours, 3 times a week.
Okay. Yeah, I've been mostly just playing Luigi's Mansion 3. I talked about it last week. It's still really good. I actually haven't gotten very far from the point where I were when I talked about it, because I don't actually play a lot of games during the weekdays. I usually come home, I watch a movie,
I want to try that
Die
game.
in the
some
bed.
YouTube.
I really need
Oh.
to try that game.
Yeah.
Like, the Skyscraper is probably the thing I'm most interested in.
Yeah, we
Sim-
have to play multiplayer.
We do
that.
have to do that.
Yeah.
I need to try the single player game because I want to know if I would like it, because I like the first Luigi's Mansion, even though it's really yank and objectively a bad game.
Okay, sure.
But I really like it. It's not objectively bad, but it's old, and you notice that it's really Yankee at a lot of places. And I really don't like the second game. And I have tried to tell Dennis a lot because he really likes that, and he gives me shit for not liking the second game.
Yeah, because it's a great game.
Yeah, it's not hitting the spots I wanted to hit. So I want to try the third one
I
because
think
I've heard good
Luigi's
things.
Mansion 3 is going to be better for you.
Yeah, as long as EGAD
Did I
doesn't
say
bring you
2?
out. I don't know. He
I
meant
meant
3.
Yeah.
But as long as EGAD doesn't bring you out every 15 minutes, I'm probably gonna love it even more than 2. But that's not really a high bar.
Yeah, so there's a bit of that, but basically every time during gameplay that EGAD talks to you, it's not an interruption. It's just hovering over the gameplay. So
Okay.
it's
Does
not
he-
intrusive.
Does it like teleport you out of the
No,
game ever?
they never teleport you out anywhere.
Okay, so you can just continue playing. I could binge the game if I wanted to.
Yeah,
That might actually make me want to buy the game.
yeah. You actually through a part in the game you get a manual teleport back to the lab.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot more freeing.
Why-
this one.
Is it the same? You go back to the lab for the same reason you went back to the shack in the original?
Yeah.
So just to unload the ghosts, more or less.
Yeah, but you just unload the ghost whenever you go to check the gallery. So there's never like a requirement to unload the ghosts.
Okay.
You also have to go back there to go to the shop where
There's a shop in this game now.
where you know the gold bones in Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, I collected some
Yeah, they're the one-ups in that game
in 2 or 3.
in 2.
Okay,
So
yeah.
they're also the one-ups in 3. So what the gold bones do, they allow you to spawn where you died again instead of having to respawn from the
Oh yeah, I
checkpoint.
remember hearing a review stating that it's really easy to exploit.
Yeah, it is very
Golden
easy
bones.
to exploit. I try not to stock of. I like the system in 2 better, where you could find them in the world instead of buying them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying that game.
I'll never play it.
we need to get you to play some more games than
Yeah,
RuneScape.
you just need to buy a Switch.
Yeah, that's very easy to do. Just fucking buy it.
Yeah,
Easy with all the money we have as poor students.
Yeah.
exactly.
I
other
would
than
buy
that-
one if I could.
We know.
Yeah, you're well aware. It's soon Christmas, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I usually just watch a bunch of movies. I watched Drive yesterday.
You watch what?
Drive.
I don't know.
I haven't
Ryan
even
Gosling.
heard of it.
Yeah.
But you like
wasn't
it's
cool.
probably a car movie with big beefy men and a lot of action.
And it's about family.
It's about family.
It is about family, but
Oh
it's
Of
not,
course it is.
It's not like Fast and Furious. It's a lot more. It's more like Baby Driver. I
Baby
was
Driver
very-
is
I
actually
was-
really good though.
Yeah,
so.
I was very reminded by Baby Driver when I watched that. I would actually not even be surprised if Baby Driver was based on this movie. They're very
But
similar.
to be fair, Baby Driver is a musical.
Yeah, there's some music in this movie too, but
Baby Driver is a musical.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right. We can end the conversation right there.
have you never seen Baby Driver?
No.
You need to see it.
It's
It's
a
a
movie.
genuinely
so
good movie.
they don't start singing. It's not
No, no.
that kind of musical.
It's
It's just
okay.
that the
I was
music
just
is like
joking.
part of the story.
It's an Edgar Wright movie. He makes good movies.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You can say names. I'll never know who you're talking about. But yeah.
But yeah, and then I just watched a lot of movies. I also
You-
watched Apple TV Plus came out, so I watched The Morning Show. It's a show on there. It's a really cool show. It's very like it's like kind of political, and they try to
Whoa.
like tell a message.
Oh yeah, that's
Very
one.
interesting.
You told me about it. It sounds like it dives into some territories that could be scary
Yeah,
if they did it really wrong. Because
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this and wondering how should we do a synopsis of the movie? So there's like, or the show just have like a really quick.
Yeah, so the show is about two TV hosts that host this like a morning show, like Good Morning America or whatever, where there's Jennifer Aniston's character who plays Alex, and then there's Steve Carell who plays Mitch, and then the entire show starts with Mitch being accused of sexual misconduct, and the entire show is this kind of Me Too thing where he gets fired and everyone else just starts to disown him and stuff. And
Yeah.
basically all of it is about Mitch trying to redeem himself and like get back to being accepted again and try to make people understand that he is not as bad as some of the people who were taken by like the Me Too movement and stuff like that. And it's very interesting, and what makes me very interested in it is that they're not necessarily being like they're not going with the message that everyone in the Me Too movement necessarily wants to go with. So they're like trying to more find like a more of a rational answer to everything than necessarily like super feminist or super
This is that's why I'm calling this
in
really.
any direction. They're like trying to find like a middle ground that and that's why it's very political. Like it's
Yeah.
very interesting because they're not going for the norm answer that the public really likes. So
This is why I feel like it could go really wrong.
yeah,
Because the Me Too movement is however you look at it, it's a good movement because it's
definitely.
a lot of people has done a lot of bad stuff, and I'm not a person who's qualified to talk about this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
We're
neither.
we're
Yeah,
still very young, and we are not the people that's targeted by the Me Too movement, I hope. So, like, when I say I hope, like, as in,
Yeah.
no one has done anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
the thing about this that makes me a bit, not scared, but I can be scared for the creators is it could send the wrong message.
yeah,
And I've heard you talk about it, and it still could feel like, because sexual misconduct is bad in any, or however you put it.
yeah,
In the
And they also, if he didn't do it and just got blamed for it, that's also a can of worms that's gonna be hard to like open.
yeah.
I was just basically gonna ask: it's like the plot or whatever that he got accused, or
So right now,
did he do it? Like
the plot is that he had sex with his personal assistant,
yeah,
and she says that it was not consensual, but he says that it was. And I've only seen 3 episodes so far. They're releasing it weekly starting Friday. So right now it's like do you believe him or do you not believe him? And I believe
okay.
the show is going to go that way.
Yeah.
And also, I also find Alex's stories, Jennifer Aniston's character, very interesting as well, because the producers of the show wants to fire her because she's old, and old quote notation marks.
Yeah.
And they want to replace her with newer, younger hosts.
All right.
So, and it's also like about her trying to. It's basically about both Alex and Mitch trying to take control of their own destinies, which is very interesting. And I find it to be a very cool show.
I can see how it's really cool because since I can't see how it will end,
Yeah.
I really hope that one day you will come to me and say, this was a really good show. This has just ended and they made this good, and I can read online and see that people praise this show for being a good political show. But I'm worried that when it ends, I will read a lot of articles talking about how this is shit and how this is a really bad for like.
Well, you're probably gonna get both either way because it's about politics. It's always
Yeah, it always
split.
sucks.
It'll just be a majority.
Not whatever gets created, there's always someone that will hate it for like everything it stands for.
Yeah.
But I think like the rational people, like people that can properly analyze stuff like this,
We should.
we shouldn't really continue this.
The rational ones.
The rational ones.
We're not gonna make too big political statements here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been watching that show, and I'm very excited to just watch generally the things that are coming to Apple TV Plus. They seem to have a large focus on very cool and creative things. So.
Do they focus on just movies or shows, or is it movies and
there are
games?
shows and movies.
Okay.
The one thing that's bumming me out a little bit is that they're only focusing on original content. They don't have any licensed content at all.
That's
so,
a bit annoying.
Yeah, so it's basically, think about it as what if HBO just was created and they only have original content. So they basically only have Game of Thrones and Westworld and Watchmen.
That's a scary
That's
thought.
like all they have.
Yeah.
Or like
Well-
Netflix without the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in the case of Disney Plus, which is coming out like next week in the US, I'm gonna use a VPN to watch it.
Yeah. There you go.
It works for them because they own a bunch of stuff. So
I mean, people love Disney.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they have like a very special.
They own Marvel. Like
Oh, yeah.
and
that's
Star
a big,
Wars and
yeah.
Disney and Pixar. And now also Fox, so they have The Simpsons and a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fucking scary.
Yeah, Disney owns everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll buy a state soon.
They own the world more or less.
Soon we'll have the Disney conglomerate, and it's a country, and it's gonna be a.
And
it's gonna be a whole thing.
Cyberpunk 20.
That's a scary thought. Actually,
77 is now
Actually, we
no,
listened
2020.
to a podcast recently, an episode of the Vergecast, where they talked about how basically we all live in multiple countries at once. Like we live in the physical country that we live in, and we also live in our virtual country. Like Facebook is basically a virtual country because you like sign up for like a citizenship to use Facebook, and there are certain rules to use Facebook.
I mean,
And
to be
all
fair,
that stuff there.
if you play games, especially if you play MOBAs, or no, not MOBAs, what am I talking about? MMOs. Then you live in multiple worlds. Like, sure, it's not like, oh, another world, but it's almost like that because you create a character, you take care of that character, you experience the world through that character, and a lot of the time the character means something to the world.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully.
hopefully. Well, I'm biased because I play Final Fantasy, and they do this cool thing where they focus more on the Final Fantasy aspect than the MMO aspect. So your character is actually an important part of the world, and your character is canonically the main character, so to say. And then they take in the other characters and other players as your friends. So yeah.
All right, so
I have
let's-
opinions on that, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start talking about one of our big topics of the show, and that is BlizzCon.
Yep.
We
So
made it.
Why I'm here.
yeah.
And Jocke.
So yeah,
Joachim.
BlizzCon just wrapped, right? it's not going on anymore.
No,
I don't think so.
it ended. It's either 3 or 4 days. The important parts are the first day.
Yeah, we are gonna pretend it's over.
It is over.
Okay, it's over.
So first of all, I don't know if they were announced in this order, but Carl sent me a document, like a website, a recap. So they announced a new expansion for World of Warcraft called Shadowlands.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So Shadowlands is the upcoming expansion for World of Warcraft, and it follows Battle for Azeroth is what I would say, and I did. But yeah, Shadowlands is basically a thing in World of Warcraft. Is when you die, you become a spirit, and you need to run back to your body or talk with the spirit healer, and then you resurrect. And if you talk to the spirit healer, you like get a debuff. And the realm you're in is the Shadowlands. And basically it's the realm of the dead. So in the expansion, seemingly, they built up the character Sylvanas Windrunner as the big bad. They've done that from the expansion Legion, the one before the current expansion. As they started building it up, she became War Chief. She did a lot of bad stuff. And then in Battle for Azeroth, she declared war on the Alliance. And during Battle of Azeroth, I haven't actually really played a lot of that, so I can't speak a lot about the story, but I have some...
Yeah, lore happened.
Lore happened. She did a lot, and I mean a lot of bad stuff, to build her up as being the obvious bad person in the franchise. This is the new big bad. This is the new Garrosh, this is the new Lich King character, more or less. And in the cinematic for Shadowlands, she went to Icecrown. She fought the current Lich King, Bolvar Fordragon, I think his name is, and whooped his ass because she has new mystical powers from this new character called the Jailer, who is like a character. I don't know if he's the Lord of the Shadowlands or if he's just sealed in the Shadowlands. But she has gotten power from that, and she's super strong. So she rips the Helm of Domination in half, and they've added part of the lore, because the Helm of Domination has always been, that's the thing that creates the Lich King. The person that wears it becomes the Lich King. And there's always been like a thing in World of Warcraft where there must always be a Lich King. And originally, they either said, or a lot of players, and me included, thought that it had to do with, if there weren't a Lich King, the Scourge. So a huge, like, a humongous army of more or less zombies and ghouls and whatnot. They would run rampant and they would have no coordination, but they would just swarm the entirety of Azeroth and kill everyone. So the Lich King controls them and keeps them in Northrend, more or less. And when she ripped it in half, instead of just that happened, she created a portal to the Shadowlands. So like the entire sky fractured open, and there was like a mirror image with a huge tower mirroring Icecrown Citadel. So the expansion will take us to the Shadowlands, and there we will meet like dead people, more or less. A lot of lore characters have died, so there's a lot of talk about, who are we going to meet in this expansion? Are we going to meet like
the good characters?
The good characters? Are we going to meet Mankirk's wife?
Yes.
Are we going to meet like for serious? Are we going to meet like characters like Garrosh? But he died on not Azeroth, or did he go to the Shadowlands? Because everyone goes to the Shadowlands, just different parts of the Shadowlands, depending on what they've done, who they are, and what they've done in life. There's like different zones. I think at least the different zones are there's different rules of law, so to speak. One zone is like the strong survives, and the weak will like perish. And the other zone is like the valor is the most important part of things. And there's a third zone that I don't remember what the thing is. I don't know. And then there's the fourth zone that's basically Super Hell.
Super Hell.
And that's a really cool thing, because apparently in that zone there's gonna be, you start in that zone, and there's all different kinds of enemies, and there's like elite level 60, I think it's a new max, because they're squishing the levels from 1 to 120, they're squishing it down from 1 to 60. If I remember correctly, it might be 1 to 50. Anyway,
I'm
there's gonna
pretty
be
sure it's 60.
yeah, it's probably 60 because they half like cut in half.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's gonna be max level elite monsters, which is really they're gonna hit really hard. They're gonna probably one shot people in the beginning, so that's really cool. It's gonna be like a chaos zone more or less. So that's some cool stuff that in the beginning is going to happen. And then they have also added like a big like people are calling it a roguelike dungeon more or less, and it's this big tower. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It doesn't really matter, but it's a big tower that people will progress through, and like they will choose abilities. I say I like it a lot. I'm sorry about that.
Torghast Tower of the Damned.
Yeah, it's Tower of the Damned. Yeah, it's a ever-changing dungeon. I can spot in the list there, but it's a dungeon basically that's randomly generated. Monsters get randomly generated, and you work your way through that. You will unlock abilities, like some really cool abilities. And when I say really cool abilities, I mean ability that doesn't straight up say you get plus 10 crit when you do this, because that's not cool. But stuff like you get a brand new ability that does brand new stuff, but
Right.
in the dungeon.
Yeah.
And through the dungeon, you will work on stuff like legendaries, and legendaries from Legion was a big thing in Legion having legendaries. However, it was also a big problem because it randomly dropped, and there were a bunch of legendaries, like a lot of legendaries, and only like 2 of them were good. So people got really disappointed. And I remember when I played, because that's when I raided, I had like a bag full of oranges, and most of them were worthless.
Yeah.
Especially if you had more characters. You had a lot of characters with a lot of worthless legendaries, and they shouldn't be worthless. But in this tower, you can work on actually forging a legendary. Not forging, but you will work towards a specific legendary. So it isn't random drop, and I hope that they will make really interesting, good, not necessarily good, but legendaries that are interesting. And hopefully there won't be like one legendary that's really boring, but also the objectively best thing to do, because that's also a big problem, or have been a big problem, that a lot of the stuff that's good are boring, but you need it if you want to raid because it does the most damage, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is coming out in sometime during next year.
Maybe,
to
probably. They
this.
usually announce it the year before. I can't promise. This is just based off going over the stuff. It's probably going to be next year. Look at when Final Fantasy XIV releases a major patch, you will realize, like 5.4, then you will have Shadowlands release, because they usually do that.
Okay. So, next up, they also announced Diablo 4, which is about time.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
it's about
yeah.
time.
I mean, I'm not like a Blizzard person, but everyone heard about the Diablo fiasco last year.
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal wasn't received as good as they might have hoped, I guess, but
And then they did a 180 with the Diablo 4 and released a 9-minute trailer.
yeah,
Oh, that was really good.
it was really good. Yeah,
And was really dark.
yeah,
And
fits the
what did you call
theme
her?
of Diablo. I don't know, like mommy, I'm made of jelly or whatever. I can't
Like
remember.
Jelly Mom or something?
Yeah, Jelly Mom. Jelly Mom showed up.
Stuff with blood. And it's gonna... yeah, it's a lot of blood in that trailer. And
Yeah.
it was like a membrane. And Lilith came out with spoilers for the 9-minute long trailer, I suppose. But yeah, Diablo 4 is apparently gonna be really dark. And that's about what I know. Stuff.
Yeah,
I unfortunately haven't read that much, but I don't think there's a lot of information out.
no, there's not a lot. I looked at some of it.
It's gonna be like, I have read you have mounts, and
Yeah,
that
there's
stories.
5 classes
yeah,
at the start. They're probably gonna add 2 with expansions, because that's what they usually do. They have 5 at the start. They add 2. Probably the same thing now. Something cool though. We got the druid this time, which got revealed.
bear
so-
bro.
Yeah, we got the bear bro.
So it says here that there is no announced release date,
Oh,
and
they
it's gonna have a non-linear campaign and a shared open world.
Yeah, that
What-
sounds exciting.
What they've said, or what I've read they've said is basically they, and I quote, said, "This is not going to be out soon, and not even Blizzard soon trademark." So, and Blizzard soon trademark, for those who don't know, is when Blizzard said this is out soon, and then they take 5 years and then they release it. And they said not even that soon is not even the soon.
Mm.
Oh,
It's
and
gonna
the
be
5
a
years
long while.
it's gonna be a long while.
13
Diablo 4
years, let's go.
2030.
Well, yeah.
It's also being developed for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels like if it's gonna be that long until it comes out, I feel like it's not even gonna come out on the Xbox
Nah, it's
One or
gonna-
PS4.
it
It's
can
gonna
come
be
out
on
on
the next
PlayStation
generation consoles.
5 or even 6, depending on how long soon is.
Okay, probably not that long.
I mean, it could take forever because Diablo 3 took
Never
forever.
say never.
I mean, didn't Diablo 3 take 15 years or something?
13, I think. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
long ass time. But they had like some very struggles.
Yeah. I just hope that Diablo 4 is... I like Diablo 3. That's also the only Diablo game I've played. I just hope that Diablo 4 releases in a better state than Diablo 3 did, and we won't have a new... whatever that was called, when no one could log in because it was an always online game. And their servers were, like, hilariously small.
Yeah.
So, like,
They fucked up.
millions upon millions of people tried to log in at the same time on servers that couldn't host even 1 million players.
Hmm.
That was a fun few months.
Yeah.
Well, now they're were they Activision Blizzard back then?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't
now
remember when
they're-
Activision officially bought Blizzard.
Now it's Activision Blizzard. I know. I remember, like, at least back in the day, they, like, whenever they released a Call of Duty game, they would launch it with 4 times the amount of service they would need just to make sure that they would not have these issues. So I feel like maybe the Activision side's gonna come in and make sure it has a smooth launch.
They've
I
been
hope.
really good with that. I remember when Legion launched. That was this. I remember when it launched, it was the smoothest launch ever. No one, or people probably got kicked out because people have bad computers. But if you didn't have a bad computer, you got in, you didn't get kicked out because connectivity issues, and you could just start leveling. And the same thing happened with Battle for Azeroth. You could just sit there, you could go in, you could just start leveling. No clogging up in the garrison that happened for a long time in Warlords of Draenor, which was the expansion before Legion. So hopefully they've learned from at least the World of Warcraft department that how to make a smooth launch. And
I'm pretty sure they are aware, like, they need to step up their game when it comes to launches
yeah,
by this point. So I'm suspecting that it's gonna be a lot better than Diablo 3. Like the launch,
Yeah.
at least. The game, I don't fucking know. I can
So-
just hold my fingers for that one.
All right, so the game that the internet hates, Diablo Immortal,
Yep.
seems to also have been mentioned.
Yep.
Any one of you know what
Nope.
what was talked about in terms of that game?
they've, as far as I know, they've like showed an updated version of the game. And I read a header of an article that said Diablo Immortal doesn't look as shit as it did last year. Except last year was a catastrophe, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Well-
I haven't really. I'm gonna be honest, I frankly don't care about Diablo Immortal.
It's probably gonna be a pretty damn good mobile game, if you're into that.
Yeah,
But it's not what most Diablo players want.
but hey, they have Diablo
Most people
4
who play
to
Diablo
report.
aren't like on the phone, I think.
No.
I think
I
that's
think it's
a
gonna
very...
be. I think it's gonna be a lot more popular in Asian markets.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's definitely aimed towards China.
Yeah.
Because they released it at the same time when it started getting, as far as I remember, it's starting to get like, yeah, they work a lot with the Chinese, what's the big company called?
Tencent.
Tencent. They started working a lot with Tencent, and then they announced Diablo Immortal for mobile, and mobile is extremely popular in Asian countries.
And
So-
much less so here in the West.
Yeah. Well, it's probably more popular than both PC gaming and console
It
gaming.
is.
but
It is,
not
but-
within
But not
the-
for us.
Not within this community.
No.
While
Yeah.
I think mobile games is probably bigger within the gaming community in the Asian countries.
Yeah, it's well,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
I believe it is.
All right. So next up, they announced Overwatch 2.
That's a bad name.
And yeah, from what I've figured out is that it's not actually a sequel. It is like it's more of an expansion.
It's like a big patch with like developed lore, I guess. Like the lore continues.
Let's put it like
I'm
this.
speaking out of my ass, but that's what I guess it is.
You're
heroes.
like technically correct,
Yeah.
but you play Titanfall. You play Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
It's like that. Overwatch 1 had no single player. It had no single player mission. It was purely an online MOBA shooter or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
but
Hero shooter.
Hero shooter.
But Overwatch 2 and 1 will keep like multiplayer parity.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 was a different.
Yeah, because
multiplayer.
Titanfall 1 had no players. That's the thing. No, I know this because I really liked that game and no one played it, so I could never play it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
It seems like this game, whatever changes are done to Overwatch 2, will also be done to the original Overwatch.
The new maps are going to be in both Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2.
Well,
So they won't split the community. The thing is, if they split the community and split the games as two separate things, it would be a riot because
Yeah, that's
people
bad.
put down so much money on Overwatch, the original. I'm one of those that has put in too much money in Overwatch.
yeah.
because
but
I'm a
that's
sucker
why
for
it should
cool
have just
skins.
That's why it should have just been an expansion. For
But that's
Overwatch.
the thing. It's more. That's why I say Overwatch 2 is a bad name for it because
Yeah.
it is more or less an expansion for Overwatch. They update the graphics. It's a new engine.
Yeah, new engine.
They update the graphics. They update character
It's a
model.
new engine, and they still allow you to play across games.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems like a
We
a
won't know
technology
until
nightmare.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. If you play Overwatch,
Blizzard.
you're probably gonna buy Overwatch 2,
Yeah.
whatever.
the
Unless
the
you're
big
poor.
so the
Which
game
is-
is coming to all the platforms that Overwatch is on
Yeah.
currently,
Yeah.
including Nintendo Switch.
That's gonna be fun.
And an Overwatch on Nintendo Switch was released literally half a month ago. I feel like everyone who bought it on Switch feels ripped off right by now.
Probably.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, you probably do get Overwatch 1 if you buy Overwatch 2. But yeah. But the thing about Overwatch 2 is that I don't really I'm not really as bothered by it as some people are. Because it's more or less you buy the single player game of Overwatch. And then you get updated graphics and updated engine and new, like, character models and all that on
Yeah.
top of that.
Yeah, I
and you
don't
can
know-
still play with the stuff you had from from the original Overwatch. So like skins and whatever is going to get transferred to Overwatch 2.
Yeah, like I don't think it's unreasonable when it comes to everyone else but Switch players.
Yeah.
Like, why did they even release Overwatch
I
1
don't
on
know,
Switch if they're releasing Overwatch 2?
I don't know.
It's
Nintendo. But Nintendo does a lot of that stuff.
I mean, I feel like Blizzard could have just come in and like, the reason why we're not doing this is because Overwatch 2 is just around the corner. And Nintendo would be like, okay.
Well, why would it do that? They can make more money.
Yeah, that's the thing. They made a lot of money. And that's the thing about, in the end, for these huge companies like Blizzard and Nintendo they are titans when it comes to the indie gaming industries, and all they care about in the end is money.
Yeah.
Even Nintendo. And the thing about Nintendo is they also release really good games. And they have, for the majority of the time, they have a really good like strategy for their marketing and for their DLC and all that stuff. But they're still, their main focus is earning as much money as they can because they're a company. So that's why they released Overwatch, even though Overwatch 2 was like right around the corner, at least announcing. Also remember that Overwatch 2 won't release in like a year. So
Sure. Yeah, okay, then it's not as bad. It would have been different if it's like released next month.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but people don't announce a game a month before. It's like at least half a year.
One of the exciting things for us is that there is now a map set in Sweden. in
Yeah.
Gothenburg, the second largest city of Sweden.
Well, for me, it's really sad because I'm a Stockholmer.
Yeah.
And
I'm
we
not
have
from Gothenburg either, so I don't give a shit.
exactly.
We can
No.
talk to Mikael about that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about Overwatch, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. He wants to make meshes in ZBrush,
And he
and
wants
that's
to,
his life.
he wants the blood and the gore, and it's really edgy. And he wants Doom Eternal
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Diablo 4.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So they also announced stuff for Hearthstone, new expansion.
We all play that game, right?
I
No.
haven't touched that game in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I said I would watch the trailers. I have not watched the trailers.
I
I have
skimmed through.
no idea.
It's
yeah,
about
It's a
dragon.
dragon expansion. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
Yeah,
New
It's about
cards.
dragons.
It's called Hearthstone: Descent of Dragons, and there's also a new mode called Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's like a card
Or like a,
auto chess thing.
they did talk
it's
about.
probably casual, but also probably pretty fun to play.
They did talk about. I want to remember reading that there would be multiplayer, like co-op mission and stuff like that.
What?
Or at least,
What's
or
gonna
is
be
that the auto card thing that it's like 8 versus 8 or something?
Yeah, that's the.
Okay.
It's basically you're all versus each other, and
So
it's basically auto chess, but in
That sounds really cool though. With
It-
Overwatch.
it sounds
Oh,
kind
I
of-
was Hearthstone.
yeah, it sounds pretty interesting, and I think it's kind of clever to do that because auto chess games are very popular right now. Just look at Teamfight Tactics. It's very
Yeah.
popular. So yeah, it makes sense to make that kind of
I
like
have no
mode.
idea what auto chess
I don't
is.
really know what auto chess is either.
It's
I-
a Chinese Dota 2 mod.
That's
Oh.
about all I know.
Yeah, and it's you like. I haven't played it. I just watched a lot of it, and it kind of blew up from out of nowhere. Like, why the fuck is this popular?
Yeah,
It's,
I just
uh,
heard the term like it was a established term, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's basically you like recruit units, then you like place them on a chessboard and they fight using abilities because they have like a mana bar which kind of loads to fall, and when the mana is full or at least like at the right number or whatever, then the unit uses like an ability or whatever, and you can form strategies around that, and you also have like items which you can put on your units. Then you can combine your units to make them stronger, but they have to be of like the same type. So it's like strategy game, but they fight using AI or whatever. So, but you can. It's not very random, I guess. So
Okay.
I need to look it up.
yeah, you'll probably like it actually. It's kind of fun, and they're doing that for Hearthstone, which is cool. I kind of want to try it, but I don't really like Hearthstone, so I'm
That's
gonna
un-
boot that shit up.
I do think it's really good that Hearthstone is doing some new stuff that other card games aren't doing.
Yeah.
Because now that Magic Arena is out, and well, Magic is better than Hearthstone. It's like
Yes.
it's a way more complex game, but it's not like dauntingly complex. It has more strategy.
Yeah, well,
Going
it's
into it.
subjective because everyone doesn't like complexity, but for us,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
a better game.
I mean, if you compare Hearthstone to Magic, Hearthstone is like a Magic Light when it
Yeah.
comes to like how it's built up. Now, I'm not saying that as a like bad thing for Hearthstone,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that a Hearthstone is a simple game because it isn't. But I think it's good to have more interesting, unique modes.
You think
Because
it's
if
more-
people play Hearthstone just for playing the card game, or playing like they can't play Magic online, and now they have Magic Arena, which is basically Hearthstone but Magic.
yeah.
Why wouldn't they play Magic Arena?
I
so-
feel like this new mode for Hearthstone really fits Hearthstone.
Yeah.
As like a core.
It's like a goofy it's a goofy card game
Yeah,
where you play your cool guys from Warcraft lore.
yeah.
I
And
put
it's,
down Kel'Thuzad,
Yeah, and
a
because
really old card now.
Yeah, it's very old. But yeah, because it's so like straightforward with how things work, and it doesn't really have the complexity of Magic, I feel like such a casual mode or whatever fits really well.
Yeah.
It doesn't like because if you're gonna do auto chess in Magic the Gathering, that sounds like a nightmare to design. or at least balance or whatever.
I know.
It sounds worse or whatever. But yeah,
So, this stuff is coming out on December 10th, so it's pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'll forget
and
that. When
I
we-
also like how they spent the whole budget on the Descent of Dragons logo and then just sent the Battlegrounds logo to the intern.
Well, one of them is the expansion, and the other thing is a mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like the I stopped playing Hearthstone when they released the old god stuff, and
yeah, same.
that was just one of the expansion when they released new cards. But I really like the expansion. Like the first expansion they did was Blackrock Mountain, I think. I want to remember.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier ones.
Yeah,
I don't know if Nax Ramos was like an expansion.
No, Extramus was the first one. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, yeah. So Nax was the first one.
Anyway, I liked what they did, that they had bosses and like boss encounters based on the raids from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that was fun.
I really like that they did that, because it's more of a puzzle than anything. But they also had, I don't think it was like an expansion thing or if it's still there, but they have like a tech thing that's a puzzle. I don't remember what they called it, but it's more or less, oh, how do you find lethal in this situation? And it was really cool, because sometimes it was a really weird way to do lethal on.
All right.
It's really hard to explain, but yeah, I like the casual modes in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
When I play Hearthstone.
Yeah.
All right. So the last three things were something for Heroes of the Storm. Does anyone even play that anymore?
I like Heroes of the Storm. They finally released Deathwing, or they are going to release Deathwing.
I haven't touched it, and I probably won't.
Yeah. They also did they announce Warcraft 3 Reforged at the show or ahead of time?
It's been announced for a while.
Yeah, it's
But
been on for a while.
is it a remaster or a remake of
It's a
Warcraft
remaster.
3?
Yeah, I think it's a remaster. They changed like very small things in the game to fit like current World of Warcraft things.
But yeah,
Think-
a lot of Warcraft fans are excited about it, I assume.
Yeah,
I
hope
mean,
so.
I'm not gonna play it because I'm not that big of a fan of Warcraft or
Yeah,
RTS games.
I'm gonna give it a hearty try.
Don't even lie, you and Leo are hyping this a lot.
Yeah, I'm very excited. But yeah, I'm mostly excited because I wanna see Defense of the Ancients 2 be created.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, I just want to see, like, I'm very excited for replaying the campaign and whatnot, but I'm also very excited to see like the mods which come out of it, because there's gonna be a lot of fun modes. I think I think most of them are gonna be like recreated. So the popular modes from before are gonna be recreated, but then I think a lot of new shit is coming too. And I really want to see Defense of the Ancients too, because that's just funny.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun to play Defense of the Ancients, but updated, but kind of different, I guess, because none of the old team is left anymore. So
Where they gonna have the like, what's they called, Forge mode or whatever, where you made mods? Because in my opinion, Warcraft 3, well, the best way to play Warcraft 3 was playing the mods.
yeah, they're gonna have the map editor.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so
The entire MOBA genre was born from that, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
At least
pretty much.
very popularized from that.
yeah. Some people will argue that it was StarCraft.
Well,
Aeon of
StarCraft isn't-
Strife. I don't give a shit. It was popularized by Defense of the Ancients, basically.
Yeah.
And made very popular by League of Legends.
Then there's also something for StarCraft 2.
Which is really sad, because
Just like
StarCraft 2 is really, really popular still. It's going so strong and they keep ignoring it, from what I understand. I haven't ever played StarCraft in my life.
it's fun. I like
Yeah.
it. It's just kind of rough to get into, as you'd imagine from an RTS,
It's-
which is kind of niche at
Yeah.
this point.
It's niche, but the people that likes it really likes it, and the competitive scene is huge,
yeah,
from what I understand at least.
yeah. Those who play it, like, really enjoy it. They're into it as hell.
It's either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't play it, so I'm not into like the pro scene, or I don't look at like pro games or whatever. But I do enjoy, like, I enjoy what it does or whatever.
I mean, it has cool aliens and it has cool humans and they fight.
Yes.
And then they have cool cyborgs, I think. I don't know what Altrex is or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, was it a good show?
Yeah, I would say if you are a fan of Blizzard games, you would be really hyped about this. And I'm ignoring all the stuff, all the controversy about Blizzard now. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about it. If you're a fan of Blizzard games, if you're a fan of World of Warcraft, you're hyped for Shadowlands. If you're a fan of Diablo, you're hyped for Diablo 4. If you're a fan of Hearthstone, I guess you're hyped for Hearthstone and Overwatch and I don't know what more games they have.
Oh yeah. I think people also were very excited that if you bought a virtual ticket, you got access to the beta for Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Forged. I didn't. I'm
But that's
slightly salty.
But it's a really expensive ticket though.
Yeah, I don't have money, so
It's like 350 kronor. So 35 euros,
yeah,
more or less.
I could pay that.
But would you want to?
Kinda, but kinda not.
Well, it's too late now.
It's too late now.
Last time you got a stupid mount.
Oh yeah, that's fucking
No,
silly.
2 times ago. 2 BlizzCons ago you got a stupid mount.
Yeah, getting like beta access seems like, oh, that's kind of cool, but getting a fucking mount, like, come on, dude.
I got a boat. So I can I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
Junks. I play the Alliance.
All right. So, that's a wrap on BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So the other big thing that happened in the last week or so is that they finally gave us details on the 4th character in the Super Smash Bros. DLC, which is Terry from Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters.
They also released him.
Yes, they also
Don't forget
released him.
that.
Who?
So
A dude in Smash.
yeah,
Okay,
so
well,
this is basically what the majority of the Smash fan base that's the reaction that the majority of the Smash fan base had when, including me, when they announced Terry, which is like who?
We should have Pontus for this because he knows who Terry is.
Yeah. I was going to ask him, but I couldn't find him.
Yeah, he disappears sometimes.
Yeah.
Was he even here today? I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, he
But
was. Oh yeah, he was. I heard him like yell out in joy when he fixed the action point system. Or whatever for
Nice.
the game.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, he is a character from the Fatal Fury series, which is made by SNK, who also made the Neo Geo line of consoles, which is a little bit more familiar to people, I think. I haven't played any one of them, but like most people have at least heard the names.
I know they exist.
Yeah. They were a line of home arcade game systems in the 90s that allowed you to play perfect ports of arcade games at home. Unlike more like the NES and the SNES, which had more of like pared down ports of those games.
All right. Yeah.
And yeah, so Terry is from Fatal Fury franchise and also King of Fighters, which is like, I think like a crossover franchise of the SNK games, maybe.
Probably.
You're not asking the right people on this one.
I am.
No.
That's what I think, at least. Whatever.
I mean,
But
at this point, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna talk about Terry in Smash.
yeah,
And
so
not-
we're gonna talk about Terry in Smash, and so he functions a little bit like Ryu and Ken, which is that he's a little bit more of like a fighting game style character. If you're playing 1v1, he will always face the other the opponent, unlike most Smash characters, which is makes it more like a fighting game. So, and he's also very.
It's super heavy.
Yeah, he's heavy, and there's a lot of emphasis on spacing. Like if you usually with most characters, if you make a smash attack, like if you're like within proximity of another player, like you'll hit him. But in this one, Terry moves a lot before he does his smash attack, so you have to take care about like, okay, how long is this attack, and then I have to make sure that the enemy is within that space, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
He
Have
also
you guys
has.
played him?
Yeah, I played him
Yeah.
a little bit
Was
today.
it fun?
It was cool. I like this moveset, but I don't. It's not a character that I'm going to play.
No, same here. I tried him once. He has the same thing that Ryu and Ken has with moving the control stick to do moves.
Yeah.
So is it like good addition to Smash or like a
If you like,
whatever, dude?
if you are a fan of King of Fighters, you're really happy now.
Yeah. So I think Pontus is freaking out.
Or was.
Probably.
At this moment, he's
yeah.
going crazy.
Exactly.
He would be doing that anyways.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, however, the one thing that I do really like about his edition is the stage. The King of Fighters stadium is very cool because usually in a Smash stage, the game is about pushing people off the screen. In this stage, there are walls on the left and right side of the screen. So if you push someone into the wall, they'll bounce off it. So they need to have a certain level of percentage. You need to hit them with a hard enough smash attack to penetrate the wall and crush it. And they add this really satisfying effect to it when they actually like go through the wall. And there's like the slow motion thing when they crack through the wall and go through the other side.
It's the same effect you get if you hit someone really hard when you had the boosted attack with Incineroar.
Yeah.
That's really nerdy to say, I know, but
It's
it's the
also-
same.
it's
Like it
also
zooms in, it's slow motion, it's
Yeah.
like purple background.
Yeah, like
particles.
when you successfully hit someone with the Falcon Punch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a really really hard hitting move.
It's really satisfying. It's really nice. Other than that, I can't really comment way that much more on him. But like, what do we generally think about the DLC characters in Smash Ultimate so far?
I'm really happy because we finally got Banjo-Kazooie in Smash.
Yeah,
Even though
I'm very excited.
Banjo
about
is like, he doesn't have any combo moves, I realized.
that.
So he's not really a good character, but it's fun to have him. I really like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And I don't remember every character. They had Joker. I really like Joker because I really like Persona, and he's a good character to play, and it's fun to play.
Yeah.
And then they had Piranha Plant
And Hero.
and Hero. I've never played Hero. I haven't
Yeah.
played a single game of Hero in my life. I'm sorry.
I-
And now Terry.
Yeah. What do we think the final Smash character is?
I have no idea.
So I'm hoping for Crash Bandicoot.
It's probably not gonna be Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot.
I don't know jack shit about Smash, but it's probably not gonna be Crash Bandicoot because I
really
hear a lot
hoping
of
for Crash
talk
Bandicoot.
about it's gonna be this character, should be this character. So,
So
yeah. And what-
legitimately though, I think a very likely addition is Tracer from Overwatch.
That's like, for me, I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like, and this is gonna be a hot take, but it's the same feeling I have about Waluigi. I really don't want Tracer in Smash, and I really don't want Waluigi in Smash. The thing I think, really think could be a character in Smash is a Fire Emblem Three Houses character, or if not a character, all three of them as like a switcheroo kind of
So
thing.
I don't think we're gonna get a Fire Emblem character in this pack. So they did announce, like when they announced Banjo, I think it was, they did announce a second pack is coming of DLC characters.
Yeah.
And we can see that there's a clear theme in this pack of third-party characters. Not a single character that was announced so far in this Fighters Pass is a Nintendo-owned character.
I've tried to think back to the first time that they did it for. What characters did they have? They had Lucas, Mewtwo, Cloud, Ryu, and Corrin.
Yeah.
I like
Corrin.
calling Corrin. And was there someone between Corrin and Bayonetta? Corrin was at last, Cloud was after Corrin, but whatever. And Bayonetta. Was there only six? Well, only, but was there six or was it more?
That's all of them.
Piranha Plant?
Wolf was added in Ultimate.
Yeah. Or re-added.
Yeah, re-added in Ultimate.
So that's two or 3 main like Nintendo characters.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking about.
50-50. For 4 they also had Fighters Back, the Wii U Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
So that's half first party, half third party. It could be true that they are
So
going.
I think this Fighters Pass specifically is going to be third party only, and then in the second Fighters Pass, it might be a little more mixed or just simply only Nintendo characters.
It would be cool to have more first party characters because
Yeah.
they really know what to do with them
Mm.
because they own them.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
So
But what are some characters that could be the fifth one?
Steve from Minecraft.
I mean,
Boom, no.
it is a meme pick, but I don't think it's unlikely.
I
They have a really good relationship with Microsoft. They already got Banjo-Kazooie.
I would like Steve to be added just to see the whole school be fuming.
so you sit next to me, I would be an atomic bomb,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
You
and
just,
that's not a
like,
good thing. No,
You're watching the next Smash character announcement,
I would.
and then
I
like,
would
you,
laugh.
when it starts. You start popping your popcorn, and then everyone
Yes.
freaks out. You just sit down.
Oh,
and-
I'm bringing
and enjoy-
popcorn for the next Smash
Enjoy the
Direct.
fire.
I am bringing popcorn for the next Nintendo Direct
Hmm.
because that's probably when they're gonna announce it.
No, I think it's going to be announced at the Game Awards. That's
Yeah.
when they announced the Joker.
When is Game Awards?
It's at the beginning of December.
So I'm bringing popcorn at the beginning of December and we're watching Game Awards. I just made a clinking sound into the mic.
Don't hit the table.
I like hitting the table. I like being emotive when I talk. But yeah, I am on the side that it would be cool to have Sora because everyone wants Sora. However, it won't happen because Disney owns Sora.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people want Sora, and it wouldn't be surprising to me either if Sakurai wants Sora too. And if he, like, Sora would be a way for him to include another, another just sphere of history, which is Disney. So through Sora, he can bring in characters like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy and fucking Frozen, Elsa from Frozen, and like
Yeah,
there can be a
yeah.
lot. And
See-
if he gets the rights from Disney to do that, they already have a relationship with Square Enix. So
that's why I don't think it's gonna happen because
yeah,
they won't give their really popular character to Nintendo, which is one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. Like they won't give
Yeah, makes
rights
sense.
to their Disney characters to them.
yeah.
However, I still
but,
thought Banjo was never going to happen, so I don't know what's going to happen.
but Nintendo and Disney actually have a really good relationship.
They're
Nintendo
weird Disney
has
games.
made Disney games before.
Yeah.
They're also like one of those like, what the hell is this announcements at like a Nintendo Direct a while ago was like the dude was like, Disney Zoom Zoom is coming to
All right,
the
they
Nintendo
must have Zoom
Switch,
Zoom.
and everyone is like, what the hell is Disney Zoom Zoom?
It still looks weird. I still don't know what it is.
I still don't
It looks
know
like
what it
little
is.
like capsule Mickeys
Yeah.
Wow.
and Donalds and
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a bunch of like capsule versions of Disney characters.
Okay.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
that's the like
it's-
reaction I had. Like, okay,
So I mean,
It's an art
since
style, I guess.
since they have a good relationship with Square and a good relationship with Disney, this is not impossible.
it's a lie. I remember the part the first Fighters Back hasn't had all third party because they have Piranha Plant.
But that wasn't part of the Fighters Pass. It was a pre-order bonus.
Oh yeah, no, why? What?
Yeah, it was a
Who's
pre-order
the-
bonus. If you
Yeah,
pre-order
I'm
Smash
done. You're
Ultimate,
right. You're
got a
correct.
code.
You're correct. You're correct. You're correct.
You got to unlock it.
I forgot
in
Hero
January.
existed. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot Hero existed.
Well, he's got a generic name.
Yeah, and he's generic, and he's really stupid to fight against because he can one-shot you with 2 moves.
You just set fire to the whole Dragon Quest community.
I haven't played a Dragon Quest game either, by the way. I played half an hour of the Dragon Quest 11 demo. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say an entire
I played
title.
like 20 minutes of the Dragon Quest 11 demo.
I fought some slimes. and I fought Cloud. And then I was like,
What?
no,
What?
thank you.
You fought.
Cloud in the game?
A Cloud.
Oh,
Oh.
a Cloud. Okay.
Like, what the fuck?
No use Cloud came down there with his Buster Sword and Limit Break Hero to death.
I watched like some YouTube videos of that game and I found it really fucking boring.
Yeah.
It looks
It's
like
mostly
a
interesting
gay
to us
RPG.
because the Switch port is really good and we're making a Switch game. So.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah.
The Switch port is really good, and I like stuff about that I've heard about Dragon Quest XI. Not as in I like it because it's a Dragon Quest XI, but I like it because people do it now,
Mm.
and that's the whole. You can play the game as an old school JRPG. Like the entire game could be played with top down pixel.
What I've
art
heard
stuff.
from people is that the 2D mode is objectively worse.
Of course it is.
Like the 3D mode has like these really emotional cutscenes and everything, and the 2D mode are just sprites and text boxes.
That
maybe
happens
maybe
with-
I can play it now though. With the old graphic.
Yeah, you boomer, you.
No, I'm kidding. I
Alright.
probably won't play that.
No, you don't have a Switch.
Oh yeah, I don't have a Switch.
You forgot.
I forgot.
You forgot to buy a Switch.
He forgot
Yeah.
that it didn't have a Switch.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot it was on the Switch. It's not exclusive
It's
to the Switch,
not
right?
It's on,
Exclusive.
no, it's on PS4 and PC too.
Well, then I could
But
play
I
it.
think the Switch version is like the objectively better version in terms of content.
I mean, look at the title. It's so much longer, so it must be better. Dragon Quest 11S. Something. Elusive World, I think.
Yeah, wait, what is it?
Oh yeah.
Dragon Quest 11S. Heroes of an Elusive Age?
I can look this up.
No?
I'm looking this up.
And then Definitive Edition at the end.
Yeah, of course. Definitive Edition at the end.
Wow.
Dragon Quest 11S. Elusive. Echoes of an Elusive Age. Definitive Edition, I think
I
it
was
is.
so close.
Yes. There we have Dragon Quest XIS. Echoes of an Elusive Age. I know that XI is 11. Don't worry. Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch.
That's not part of the title.
I
Just
know.
Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Just a definitive
But
edition.
yeah, it's a long ass title.
It's Kingdom Hearts level of long ass titles. Kingdom Hearts 2.0, whatever it's called. That's a 3-hour demo, and it was better than Kingdom Hearts 3. Hot takes.
Okay.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
You're playing through Kingdom Hearts 2, aren't you? Or you're playing
Yeah.
it with Kim.
Kinda. Yeah, I'm playing with Kim. But I'm kinda watching it. I'm not kinda playing
Whatever.
it. Yeah.
Alright. So that's it for today's show. Thank you for joining me. So tell people where they can find you on the internet.
I am completely anonymous. I haven't been here.
Okay.
I can't really be found on the internet because I don't really do stuff on the internet yet.
I mean, do you have a Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your Twitter?
I don't remember. I
don't
think
know,
it's
fuck
called
it.
a piece of tofu. If you find a piece of tofu out in the street, that's probably me. I'm everywhere. No, but I think my Twitter is called a piece of tofu, and it has my real name on it, so please don't look it up.
Okay.
It has a
What?
weird image with a chicken with goggles on.
Okay.
I love that image so much.
So where can people find you?
My Twitter is Robot Game.
Robot Game.
Yeah, Robot
Yeah.
Game.
Cool. You can find me at Dennis_Lofgren. And I tweet a lot about games and Taylor Swift. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it? Because
I never
Apple.
tweet.
I like stupid stuff. I like meme videos, and sometimes I like fan art when I get spicy. And you don't see it on Twitter because I don't like to air stuff in the open. But I argue a lot with Dennis, not in a bad way, but in a we're both designers and we both have very different opinions on our games.
yeah. We need to have some more like design focused discussions, like topical based shows. I was asking our teacher Oscar if he wanted to be on the show, and I want to find a good topic, like a topic that everyone's gonna be really inflamed about. And then we can do a podcast.
Leveling systems and RPG elements.
Oh yes.
That's gonna be a 3 hours, 3-hour podcast of us two like killing each other.
That's
the thing is, no one is gonna hear anything on the podcast because there's gonna be so many interruptions because everyone will be talking at the same fucking time.
We're gonna bring Leo in here.
Will be said.
We're gonna bring Leo in here too because he gets really upset when people argue about stupid stuff. It's really fun.
We can have the podcast in the middle of the day, right next to him while he's working, and then we can talk about leveling systems and experience.
Yep.
And why they are great, right, Dennis?
No, why they are complete worthless
fun
piece
fact.
of garbage.
Joachim was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do a podcast with Carl and Dennis in the same room, talking about games. This is not gonna end well," but it did end well, didn't it?
It went pretty well, actually.
Because I tried to be professional.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great day, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye. I'll be back. Carl comes in through the wall.
Oh.